From things you thought were totally normal here in the US that can turn out to be totally rude in another country, to supersizing just about everything, here are strange things that only seem normal in America. But first, quick shout out goes to Mr. Zid Slim Shady for leaving us this comment on one of our recent videos. If you're not American, let us know what are some of the stereotypes your country has on the US. And if you are American, let us know how you've embarrassed yourself abroad, and maybe we'll feature your comments in an upcoming video. Number 16. Speedos. You might think you look pretty cool in a pair of Speedos if you're a European supermodel, but not all Americans will appreciate, or at least other guys at least. While many countries around the world aren't shy to put on a banana hammock, it just seems weird and creepy here in America. While by European standards, the Speedos are mainly worn as a measure to prevent spreading bacteria or other illnesses that get stuck on your clothes. Basically, they feel as though the less clothing, the more sanitary. Topless bathing for women is unfortunately frowned upon at some beaches unless you're in designated areas or the city of Miami Beach. The German government released a warning to its citizens about undressing. Thanks a lot. Number 15. Tripping on tipping. Another American pastime that not many other countries have quite understood, tipping is giving your server or waitress an extra 15 or 20% of what the bill was. So say your check was $20 and you received good or even mediocre service, they still expect you to give them a tip. There is no rule that says you have to tip every time, but if you don't, you might really tick some people off. It almost seems as though Europeans have it right this time. By expecting people to pay more from tipping, restaurant workers get paid lower wages by the owner and expect you to pay more for their salary. In any case though, some restaurants might follow you out into the parking lot if you don't pay up, so watch out. Number 14. Sales tax. Most of the time when you go around the world, you'll notice that sales tax is included into the price of the object while you're making the purchase, and that sales tax adds up really quickly. In most states, it reaches about 6% or so, but in California, it gets as high as 8.25%. Only 5 states don't have to worry about it, including Oregon, Montana, Delaware, Alaska, and Vermont. Everywhere else you go, though, just get ready to do some math if you want to know the exact price before checkup. Number 13. Requesting condiments. America uses more condiments than anywhere around the world, and it almost makes you want to believe that it's to hide the bland flavor of our food. Do other countries' food taste better than ours, and they don't really need quite as much ketchup and mustard on their food? Hellmann's mayonnaise is actually the #1 selling condiment in the US, and their mayo racks in an estimated $400 million in total sales. Americans are also the #1 consumer of ranch in the world, and other countries might not even have that stuff. What are we to do if we go abroad? Asking a waiter in France to bring you some ketchup or mustard for your food might even seem to be rude. The chef will feel insulted that his food wasn't good enough and you need to hide the taste with some condiments. Number 12. Take-home box. With such huge portions served at restaurants in America, it's fairly common to make another meal out of what's left over. People in other countries, such as in Europe, might give you a strange look if you ask them for a to-go bag. It's almost like a faux pas to do such a thing, and how dare you not finish that fancy French cheese on your plate. In other countries, they probably don't use quite as much preservatives in their food, and it might spoil quicker than what we're used to in the US. Some countries, though, might have started feeling a little bit bad about people wasting a large amount of food, and have made it illegal to deny any kind of doggy bag requested by the customer. Number 11. Coffee on the go. Here in the United States, we have drive-thrus for just about everything you can imagine. We can even get drive-thru weddings if you're in Las Vegas. So we might as well have a drive-thru for coffee, since getting out of the car takes far too much energy and muscle movement, especially before we've had our morning cup of coffee. Other countries are more likely to sit down at a cafe and enjoy their drink instead of bringing it with them to work. Number 10. Supersize me. A lot of people from other countries may begin to complain when they start to realize the amount of weight they put on from the food in the US. In most European countries, all the food is non-GMO, and even the fast food might be pretty organic. The larger portions, however, seem to be the culprit, and our food might just be simply cheaper in any case. America isn't really known for serving low-fat food, and most time, restaurants here go for quantity over quality. Hot dogs, burgers, french fries, deep dish pizzas, it can be a little bit too much to resist. Number 9. Thumbs up. Is that vodka you're drinking over in Russia pretty good, and you want to give the bartender a thumbs up to show your appreciation? You better think again, because in some cultures, it's basically like giving someone the middle finger. It basically means up yours. In other parts of the world, you really don't give a thumbs up if you like something. But if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like this video and you're from Russia, Greece, Iran, or Western Africa, give us a thumbs up too. In Japan, it's opposite, and if you really get mad at someone, give them a thumbs down as an insult. Number 8. Pumpkin-flavored things. As soon as October comes here, in America, you'll notice everything needs just a little bit of pumpkin. While some other countries might actually eat pumpkin if there's nothing else left to eat, Americans indulge in pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin pie, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin fries, and the list goes on. This seems to be an American phenomenon, but only a seasonal thing. The pumpkin craze appears like it's going to be around for quite some time, and pumpkin products notice a massive 79% increase in popularity after 2011. Nearly 40% of Americans will purchase at least one pumpkin-flavored item each year around Halloween. If you're from another country, let us know if you guys eat pumpkin things during fall. We'd like to hear if it's not such a big deal in other parts of the world too. Number 7. Date order. Anyone else notice that Americans have been writing the date the wrong way the entire time? Pretty much in every other country, you'll notice the day of the month is written first, then the number of the month, and then finally the year. So, for example, the 4th of July would be written like that. 4/7/1776. This would be the international way to write our Independence Day. We're still the only country out there that writes it in this format, and it makes cool dates like Pi Day non-existent in other countries. That's their problem. We're just gonna keep doing things the way we want to do them, and y'all ain't gonna stop us, you hear? Number 6. Open a gift immediately. During Christmas time, we all love getting presents and opening them as soon as we can, as fast as we can. In some cultures, this is actually seen as a faux pas, and you're not supposed to open gifts right in front of the person you gave them to. Places who don't open their presents at first include China, Romania, and Ukraine. Sometimes at parties, it might seem a little bit narcissistic to have a bunch of people watching you open presents. Number 5. Laugh too loud. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being happy and having a good laugh, but do you really gotta get so loud that the entire room can hear you? Americans who are traveling abroad always seem to be much louder than the native population of whatever country they're visiting, and that's because it's not against the law for us to make too much noise here most of the time. The US is a large country that isn't overcrowded. If Americans make too much noise at a restaurant, the person sitting next to them isn't likely to hear them or cause much of a fuss. We're sure, though, if you went to some pubs in Ireland, they can make just as much noise as us. So while there are some truths about this stereotype, it shouldn't be something to generalize us Americans on. Number 4. Free refills. Many countries would probably find it totally absurd that we have unlimited refills of soda when we go to the fast food restaurants. Here in America, as long as you get your order to eat inside the fast food establishment, you can typically hang out there all day, fill up your cup until you physically leave or go outside. But still, don't you hate going to fast food places and seeing people like this taking advantage of things like free salsa and the soda machines? You don't need to bring your whole gallon jug and fill up the entire thing full of diabetes juice. Once the restaurants start catching on, because of the dumbos like this guy, no more free refills for anyone. Number 3. Debt for college. Most Americans will learn what debt is all about immediately after high school once they begin attending college. The price for a higher education in the United States can be a ridiculous amount of money, especially if you plan on being a doctor or a lawyer someday. The average amount of student loan debt was around $30,000 for a bachelor's degree. In many other countries around the globe, college is free and you can earn your degree as long as you got the time and effort to get one. Getting out of student debt is still quite difficult due to large interest rates and the ridiculous cost of classes. Number 2. Work so much. Compared to any other country around the world, Americans get the least amount of time off, and we're basically the world's most overworked country. In places like Europe, people are required to get at least 1 month of paid time off each year, which almost seems impossible for some Americans. Many companies might seem generous, only giving 10 days off. The US is the only country that doesn't require national paid parental leave. 85% of men and 66% of females in the workforce work more than 40 hours a week here. And number 1. Strict alcohol laws. America is the land of the free indeed, but you can fight a war before you can grab a beer. The US is regarded as the strictest Western country in regards to alcohol and is one of the few countries to restrict the legal drinking age to 21. In most European countries, you only have to be tall enough to look over the counter. Other countries with 21 as their legal age include Chile, Egypt, and that's about it. Some countries in the Middle East have completely banned alcohol, but as far as Western standards are concerned, it's basically just us. While in countries like Belgium, the legal drinking age is 15 with The Guardian. Some liquor stores in the US ban all sales of alcohol on Sundays, including Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kansas. So what'd you guys think of that video? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my channel over here, American Eye. We'll see you there.